Now you have a show for 33 years, every day, you do that every day.
Yeah.
And then, so the show ends, and then that night, what do you think? You think about tomorrow's show?
No, it's funny because, as you must know, the human neuromuscular skeletal system is easily programmed, and after 2 or 3.
Sure, I knew that.
And so after
as soon as you said that first word.
After 2 or 3 repetitions, you kind of get what it is. Yeah. So I had that for 33 years. And
so
now,
you were just performing on muscle memory the entire
That's right.
time.
That's pretty much exactly correct. And now what I have, and I didn't miss it for a long time. I didn't miss it because there was still sort of the high of having completed this and all of the artificial adulation that came with it.
I don't think it was artificial.
Well, I think it was. I mean, I'm talking about my family, and and then the next.
My favorite part of the final show was Harry's friend. Oh
yeah,
my God, that was funny.
Yeah, Tommy Roboto.
Remember that?
A tremendous kid.
Harry's in the audience. So David, says, "There's my son," and his son wants his friend to be.
Yeah, but the deal was, in the dressing room before, I said to Harry, I said, "You and Mom are going to be in the audience. I'm going to introduce you." And he said, "Oh no." And I said, "No, come on, let me introduce you." And he said, "If you introduce Tommy, you can introduce me." So I'm negotiating with my son 10 minutes before the final show about how we're going to orchestrate the introduction. And the only thing I regret is I wish now I had asked them both to stand up and take a bow. And I just
or
didn't.
Come on stage.
Yeah, but he had so spooked me about the parameters of the introduction.
It was one of the greatest things I ever saw.
It was fun.
What was his name? Tommy Roboto.
Tommy Roboto.
Is Harry in 4-H?
No.
Oh.
No.
Do they not have it in?
I don't know if they have it. I mean, he would be. He likes all things agricultural and animal related. He likes horses and dogs and all the animals.
He was in animal husbandry for a while.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I've had a checkered past.
Well, no, there's nothing wrong with being in animal husbandry unless it's a euphemism. Is it a euphemism?
Oh, it's a euphemism.
It's a euphemism.
Okay, then I don't want to. Yeah. I don't want anything. No.
Fair enough.
No, it's a euphemism.
That's fine.
Adam has been bugging me all last night. He wants to ask this question.
Oh,
I said, "Don't ask the question."
Let's ask the question.
Well, I've been watching you for years, and I've always been really curious. Where do you get your ideas from?
Well, this is going to sound.
this
is going to sound maybe loutish on my part, but I always saw. I love Mary Tyler Moore, and I know you were on her TV program, and then when she was your guest, there was this incredible chemistry. And was there ever anything romantic with her? I mean, she must have been very desirable to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was good.
Well, what is the question?
The question is, did you have, did you ever lay down on top of her? I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to.
Now, wait a minute. You bring up a good point, Norm. The first one of the day. Yes, when at the cast meeting, we were all invited to lay down on top of her.
Oh.
But there was no sexual activity. But we all, at once, laid down on top of her.
I thought you were going to...
No, she loved a good stunt. We all would just take, it would just be the heaviest to the lightest, and there'd be 5 or 6 of us laying down on top of her.
Now, we have some jokes, some of them written by the great George Miller. But would you like to read a joke? This is not a George Miller joke, though. It's just a joke.
Read it aloud?
Yeah.
Scientists have discovered a vegan spider in South Africa that will not eat ants.
Oh.
It refuses to eat ants even if it's starving, but it will eat tofu shaped like ants.
Oh.
It's good. That's good.
Should we let Adam Eget read a joke?
Well, I'd like to see him do something before I leave.
He's going to read a joke.
Researchers in Bermuda believe they may have finally solved part of the mystery surrounding Amelia Earhart's disappearance. She was a bad pilot.
I don't know. Yeah. It's not my fault.
Bermuda. She didn't go down anywhere near Bermuda.
Do your goddamn research, Eget. Now, what about this one? Oh, here's a great joke. Dave, this is a perfect Dave Letterman joke. Well, you got to say it louder than that.
I'm because of what just happened. I've decided to pre-read.
Well, I'm a moment of silence after that joke. No, I mean, it was 150 years ago. We can look back and laugh at it now.
The Deer Hunter is a terrific movie unless you shelled out $3 to see some actual deer hunting. This is reminiscent of your Weekend Update stuff.
Is it?
Yeah.
Now, remember you had the snowstorm and you did the show without the audience?
Yes.
And it seemed like you really enjoyed that.
Yes, it was fun.
Would you ever consider doing that again?
Yeah, yeah, sure. I mean, it was what we're doing here, more or less.
Yeah.
Now, I know you've done this show in both versions. Which do you prefer, with or without?
Oh, without.
Without, you like that better?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't have the range of that you do.
No.
See, what makes it?
No.
There's only been two talk show hosts with this deep layer. You and Johnny Carson.
No,
So
Johnny.
you could speak to anybody.
No, you can speak to anybody.
No.
Have you? Do you watch this show?
No. But you should.
No. Have you seen this show? The one we're doing.
Get yourself a Charlie Rose desk. How much could they cost? And then you're
Well, it all comes down to the expense of the
in
desk.
black.
But do you watch your own show?
No, sir.
Well, you have. I've talked to people. I've watched it, and I've talked to other people who find it compelling. You can't take your eyes off. So
well,
there,
imagine if
whatever
you were
it is you're making up, whatever qualities you're fabricating here, you yourself possess them.
But imagine if you were doing it. And you
Well, imagine
don't have
if
an
you were
eye.
doing it.
Well,
Well, what's the matter? I've done it for 30 years. I don't want to do it anymore. You do it.
without an audience, though.
You could do it.
But you'd be a different show.
I don't want to do it.
You don't want to do it.
No, I've done it. People always say to me, well, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I kind of did it for 30 plus years. Right. And you, we always worry a little about you because we regard you as the top of the heap, the best of the best, the funniest of the funny, the guy who has it in every fiber of his being, not conjured. It's the real thing. So you do it.
I just want to write. I just want to write books. But But I'd like to watch you with a big desk, and it'd be black. Hey, Dave, say what you will about Elon Musk, but with his new plan to bring people to Mars, nobody is a more creative serial killer. Hey, you know the funniest part of doing an office conga line? When you look back and realize you're doing it alone and you're not in an office, you're in a psychiatric hospital.
How many years did you do Update?
Here's a George Miller joke.
How many years did you do Update?
I want to say 15. What's that one say?
Oh, here you go. Yeah. I heard that when Beethoven was 16, he wrote his first symphony. This is the kind of guy who makes you realize that what an utter sham your life has been. When I was 16, I was in a Macdonald's saying, "You want lids on these?"
Now, what a perfect choice, huh?
Yep.
I mean, maybe the idea is generic, but the word choices.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Oh, here's one for you.
Oh, great.
It's a George Miller joke.
Oh. I went to one of these fancy restaurants. Boy, they really specialize with all these fancy waiters. They have the butter
They
waiter
specialize.
Who gives you
They
butter.
specialize. The waiters, they specialize.
That's right.
I don't think they're fancy. I think they specialize. You have the butter waiter, he brings out the butter.
Yeah.
You have the water waiter, brings out the water.
Yeah.
You have the, what is
The
it?
head waiter.
Coffee waiter, yeah.
Yeah. And then what else?
And then the
The head waiter.
Now,
I
they're
mean,
very specialized at these places. This is not a George Miller joke, but it's more of just a whimsical observation. A surname you don't hear much anymore, Flintstone.
I was the George Miller joke that. I remember the first time I saw George Miller on stage, and he was talking about how he was in school. He wasn't very popular, and they would play post office. You know, the post office, and the punchline of that was, "Yeah, it didn't do much for my self-esteem. I didn't feel very popular with the girls. Do you have any idea what it feels like to be known as postage due?"
Here's two last George Miller jokes. I'll do this one, then I'll give you my favorite George Miller joke. I played a great club here in the city, Catch a Rising Star. Boy, that's a good club. But across the street, they have a tough club. Have you been there? Snub a bombing has been. But this is my favorite one of all time. This is a favorite joke of George Miller's. His sex life.
Oh, God. Here's something you should never say in bed. That ought to hold you for a while, Gertrude.
Subscribe to Nom Burger King.